are in pot one. Let's start with who I'd say are the bookies' favourites as things stand, Spain, and obviously this will be Lamine Yamal's first World Cup.
4 days. That is how close Lamine Yamal was to his 17th birthday when he bent a football around a French defender, past a helpless goalkeeper, and into the bottom corner of the net at the Allianz Arena in Munich. A goal so perfectly struck, so absurdly composed, that the entire stadium, 55,000 people, went completely silent for a full second before erupting. Not because they hadn't seen something great, but because they could not quite believe who had done it. A 16-year-old, in a European Championship semi-final, with the weight of an entire nation on his back. His name is Lamine Yamal, and the 2026 FIFA World Cup will belong to him. Born on July 13, 2007, in Esplugues de Llobregat, a small municipality on the outskirts of Barcelona, Lamine Yamal Nasraoui Abana arrived in a world that had absolutely no idea what was coming. His father, Munir, has Moroccan roots. His mother, Sheila, is of Equato-Guinean descent. Two continents met in a city famous for producing footballers, and somehow produced the most extraordinary one of all. He joined Barcelona's La Masia Academy as a child, the same academy that gave the world Xavi, Iniesta, and Messi. He was not the biggest, not the strongest, but he was the most dangerous thing a football academy can ever produce. A child who saw the game differently from everyone else around him. On April 29, 2023, Barcelona's head coach made a decision that raised eyebrows across Spanish football. He named a 15-year-old in his starting lineup for a La Liga fixture. Lamine Yamal, aged 15 years and 290 days, became the youngest player in La Liga history to debut for a top-flight club. The footballing world expected a cameo, a cautious introduction. What they got instead was a statement. Within months, he was not just making up the numbers. He was starting, consistently, brilliantly, unapologetically. But football did not simply open its doors for Lamine Yamal. He kicked them clean off the hinges.
And we are all excited to see Lamine Yamal at the World Cup. We all remember what happened during the last Euros, won by Spain, and the way he shined during the competition. We all remember his game in semi-final versus France when he scored that that great goal to get the equalizer.
In September 2023, at 16 years old, he received his first senior call-up for the Spanish national team, becoming the youngest player in the history of the Spain senior squad to earn a cap. At an age when most teenagers are thinking about school exams, Lamine Yamal was pulling on the red shirt of Spain and performing like he had worn it for a decade. Then came Euro 2024, and the world finally stopped arguing about what he was and simply watched. Spain were magnificent throughout the tournament, fluid, fearless, and faster than any team in the competition. Yamal was their sword, 6 matches, 4 goals, 2 assists. A level of creative destruction that left defenders across Europe without an answer and pundits running out of words. He won the Young Player of the Tournament award, the only surprise being that it was not a more competitive vote, but the moment that will live forever, the one that announced him to every corner of the planet, came in that semi-final against France. Receiving the ball 30 yards from goal, cutting inside onto his left foot, Yamal curled a strike into the far corner with such precision, such power, such total belief that it looked like something a 30-year-old veteran scores after a decade of World Cup experience. He was 16. It was his semi-final, and he was the calmest person in the building. Spain beat France that night. They went on to beat England in the final, winning Euro 2024, their record 4th European Championship title. Lamine Yamal collected a winner's medal before his 17th birthday. Most footballers never win a major international tournament in their entire careers. He did it before he finished secondary school. Now comes the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and the numbers around Yamal heading into this tournament are almost difficult to process for someone his age. He will turn 19 on July 13th, the very same month the World Cup final is scheduled to be played. He is arriving in North America not as a prodigy to be protected or carefully managed. He is arriving as Spain's most important attacking weapon, the player around whom an entire tournament strategy is built. He registered double-digit assists in La Liga during the 2024-25 and 2025-26 seasons with Barcelona, establishing himself as one of the most productive wide forwards in European club football. At 18, he is already among the most consistent performers in La Liga week after week. Spain enter the 2026 World Cup as genuine contenders.
Emula a Messi, Pedri y Gavi. Es el cuarto jugador del Barcelona de la historia que logra este trofeo. Para muchos, Diego, probablemente la antesala de lo que va a acabar siendo.
A young, technically elite squad with tournament experience, tactical discipline, and a collective identity forged across 2 years of international football under a coach who trusts youth without apologizing for it. At the center of everything Spain want to do offensively is a teenager with electric pace, surgical vision, an outrageously natural left foot, and a temperament that defies his age entirely. The 2026 World Cup expands to 48 teams for the very first time, hosted across the United States, Canada, and Mexico.
And even in the final, and I remember I was at the stadium in Köln for the round of 16 game versus Georgia, and that was the first time ever I saw him from my eyes. I was like, my God, his speed. I was impressed by his speed, and from that day on, I was like, oh my God, he's gonna be such a great player. And I follow.
More teams, more matches, more knockout rounds, more nights where Spain could find themselves under pressure, needing a moment of individual brilliance to survive, which means more moments built for exactly this kind of player. There is a version of this tournament where Mbappe breaks Klose's record, where Vinicius leads Brazil to glory, where a classic South American giant reclaims the trophy. Football is unpredictable, and that unpredictability is the reason we watch. But there is also this. A generation shift is happening in real time, in front of us. And Lamine Yamal is not arriving at that shift as a passenger or a bystander.
Lamine Yamal absolutely skims Di Marco. Oh, he's hit the goal. Oh, he's hit.
He is driving it. He has been driving it since he was 15, since that La Liga debut, since Munich, since the Euro 2024 final. Every great tournament needs a player who makes you want to stay up late. A player who makes the casual fans suddenly care about every group stage fixture. A player who makes your stomach drop the moment he receives the ball, because you just know, that something extraordinary is about to happen. In the summer of 2026, across stadiums in 3 countries, that player will be wearing Spain's red and gold. He will be 18 years old. He will be the most exciting footballer on the planet, and he will just be getting started.